This was going to be the episode where I shared random shit that people have given me or loaned me and I haven't returned. But now I've decided it's actually random name dropping that I'm going to share with you today. Can you hear that bloody dog barking? Seriously, it does it all day long sometimes and it drives us insane. Hello, Helen.
Hi, Robin.
How are you going?
Yeah, I can hear that dog barking.
Can you hear it?
Yes.
You can probably hear it all the way to your place without the internet.
I know, we've got a lovely valley between us, so it does carry the sound.
Now, Helen, what's your first piece of random shit to share?
Well, I had to think about what we were doing, and the Queen's birthday honours have just been released because other states have released that. And it actually prompted me to go and find a piece of shit that was given to me by my mother that my grandfather was given by Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
Yes.
Far out. That's amazing.
So what that is a proclamation that my grandfather, who has received an OBE from the Queen. So he'd already received an MBE on his title, and this is the proclamation that he received from the Queen. It's got her own signature up the top there, if I come closer.
Yes, Elizabeth R. And in fact, you can see me in the reflection of the glass.
Yeah, I'll try and change the angle a bit.
Yeah.
But that's the document that the Queen actually gave my grandfather for his tireless work in developing the sugar industry here in Australia. So he traveled around the world opening up export markets for our sugar industry in its early stages.
Yeah, that's fantastic. What a treat to have in the family.
Yeah, so that's probably the only thing I've received from my grandfather, and it was quite important because he had to fly to Brisbane for the ceremony, and I was the only family in Brisbane at the time because most of my family are in Mackay. So that's sort of my connection to it because my grandfather had like 52 grandchildren. So that's one of my pieces, yes.
52 grandchildren?
Yeah.
So you are one of 52?
Yeah, so I don't keep in touch with all of them, of course.
Holy cow, Helen, that's incredible.
Yeah, and I look back at my family history. There was one part of my family history where there were 26 children birthed. In some part back in my history, I've got to go and look, but it looked at 26.
Wow, that's
so
amazing.
Yeah, we came from big families.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's really lovely to have. You know, we can have a tsunami of memorabilia, can't we? But when it's distilled into one piece, then all of that comes into that one piece, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And it represents all of the work that he used to do. So that most of the time when we see him in Brisbane is because he was flying out to Korea or Singapore or somewhere like that internationally. And that was most of the time we got to see him as well.
So when did he receive that?
It's not even dated. Oh, no, in 1980 something, 1982.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So it was like he had received an earlier one. So his first one was a member of the British Empire for his work, and then this was an upgrade to Order of the British Empire.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Well, my piece isn't nearly as exciting as yours, but it is random and it is shit, so it kind of fits the criteria. And the other day, Matt bought himself a 3-stacked bamboo steamer thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And we haven't had, I had one years ago, but haven't had one. And I said, I've got a wok somewhere in the cupboard. You'll be able to use that for it. And as I pulled it out, it's this, pretty daggy. I'd never use it, and it's got a flat bottom, so it's not functional for what he wanted. But I said, actually, this is the first name dropping. Lynn Winch gave this to me. So Lynn Winch was the school principal at Chevelham State School for more years than she probably cares to remember. And she retired a few years ago. And I still have this wok that she gave me all that time ago, and I never use it. But and I might make it into a planter, I think. What do you think?
I think that'd be lovely for some succulents in there.
Yeah.
Rocks and whatnot, and put it somewhere beautiful, maybe in the background that you've got there.
I will. I think that's what I'll do. All right, because I don't use it as a walk.
Yeah.
All right. What's your second piece of random shit?
Well, I thought I'd stay with the theme, and I love your name dropping. So I've name dropped Queen Elizabeth.
Yes,
so
that's good.
Let me name drop something else. So
right.
my other piece of random shit is also got a monarchy theme. It is a painting done by the Princess of Belgium.
Oh. Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah.
And so, Helen, how is that, like an original painting or is that a print?
No, that's an original painting by the Princess of Belgium.
Oh, for goodness sakes. We're very impressed here. There's some cheering coming from the control room.
Yep, I really love your theme of name dropping. So the Princess of Belgium, how that's made it into my house, and in fact I've got 3 other pictures from her, is that my husband's mother's second husband is actually a direct descendant from the King Louis Philippe of France. And that particular Princess of Belgium was his grandmother.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
Yes.
That's astounding. That is really very serious name dropping.
Yes, yes. So her great grandfather was the last king of. So her great grandfather was the last king of France, and she's got heritage all the way back to Bulgaria and Russia and Spain and Portugal, all of those royal families and things like that. And she's even got a obviously connection back to the British royal family as well.
All right. Now, so she's not still alive, is she?
No. So she died in 1948.
Okay. So very dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, very dead. Switzerland, buried somewhere out there in the wide world of monarchs and whatnot. Yes.
Oh, that's astounding. What a great story. And so you've got 3 paintings?
Yeah, so that's one set, and then I've got a set of 3 others. So what the royal women did is they didn't do any real work, but they learned to sew and paint. And apparently this particular princess was a very good sports person, like very good at the shooting and things like that. So yes, that's why the artwork looks bloody brilliant, because they actually got taught by artists. Famous artists at the time were hired by the palace to teach their children how to paint. So she could have been taught by, I don't know, the Van Goghs or the Renés of the world or anything like that, possibly.
Wow, that's very impressive. Well, I don't even know if I want to share my second piece of random shit, because I'm feeling, very outshone again. And that's the thing, the longer I do this, it's on a sliding scale of the quality of my random shit is just kind of going down.
Well, you'll have to start borrowing some more from people and not handing it back.
Yeah, well, I could. Okay, so thank you for that segue, because this one here belongs to Sally Francis.
Oh, yes, Sally.
Yeah. So, hi, Sally. I still have it. She loaned it to me maybe a year ago or thereabouts, and we have been using it. Matt has discovered the joy of making shoestring curly chips. So he's using it to do the potatoes, and they all come out that end, and he dries them and then he deep fries them, and they are exquisite, amazing, really scrumptious. So we are still using it, Sally, but it's here. If you'd like to have it, I'm happy to drop it over, or we can meet down at Homegrown. That's another little name dropping. And we can have a coffee now together, and I can return this to you.
I don't know. Sally's probably happy for you to keep looking after it for her, because she lives in a tiny house, and she probably would be quite happy to get rid of some of her random shit out of her place and into someone else's.
Yeah, well, she was very quick on the uptake when I did, I put a little Facebook post out and said, has anyone got any, one of those things? Yes. And she said, yes, I have.
Good on you, Sally.
Yeah. And so, okay, so a couple of other names to drop is Rob Blackmore, who's been on the sourdough bread making journey.
Yes.
And that's been a lot of fun. And then my dear friend Mary Lou Stevens, whose husband Ken decided that his gluten intolerance was at the fore, and he had bought 5 kilos of flour and decided that he didn't want it. So I have that. Yeah, and I think that's probably about it. You know, there's plenty of names to drop, but let's just leave it at Queen Elizabeth, the princess of who's she the princess of?
She's the Princess Henrietta of Belgium, and then she's got a couple of other titles that go after that.
Of course, a little bit like Prince William getting knighted by Tony Abbott. He's now a Sir as well as everything else.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's just add an extra couple of names at the end.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
It is.
All right. Thanks so much, Helen. And thank you for this morning. So just for those who don't know, Helen and I had a cuppa this morning where she helped me nail down a couple of things in a business model canvas that I'm writing for a garden that we're developing at St. John's College. So thank you for that. I appreciate your brains.
My pleasure.
Fabulous. All right. I'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Robin.
Okay. Thank you for watching. And if you've got some really good quality random shit and you'd like it on this side, do give me a call and maybe I'll share it for you, or you can be on the other side of the camera and share it with us as well. I'll see you on Thursday. Helen?
You're welcome.
That was good. They're both very impressive pieces. They're both very impressive pieces.
Yes, I'm proud of the one I got from my grandfather, you know, and especially because the Queen Elizabeth actually wrote her name. Like it's got a stamp, of course, but she wrote her name on the top of it.
Yeah, it's impressive.
And Ron's stepdad having that heritage, it astounds me every day that all the way back is living in our family.
Yeah. Very impressive.
Yeah, when we visited them, they've sold a lot of the